everybody. I am Bryan.
And I'm B. Ryan.
And this is Bryan versus B. Ryan, episode 61. Today we'll be reviewing Venom. Let There Be Carnage. Here we go. Came out just a couple days ago, 2021. Directed by, what the heck is his name? Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
You might know him as the Monkey, the Big Monkey, Snoke. He plays everybody. It's
Gollum
ridiculous.
is probably claim to fame. Gollum.
Don't forget Gollum. The little fucking troll that you have to give a sock to free in Harry Potter.
Dobby. Or Dobby.
Oh, yeah, it's Dobby. It's Dobby. Harry. Yeah, so released September 14th, 2021. With a brisk runtime of 97 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's over quick.
Yes.
And you definitely want to stay a little bit later. So, I guess we'll get started on, to preface, I think I did like the first Venom. The origin is a little weird without Spider-Man, but they managed to do it okay. I think the first Venom is probably around a 7.1 for me. Just so people know our thoughts on the first one before we go into the sequel. But that's pretty important, how good a sequel is compared to the first.
Yeah, I don't want to get too heavy into a review of the first one. But yeah, I didn't watch it upon release. I think it was 2018. It seemed to be a pretty divisive film. I think it's one of those, like, either you like it or you don't. And in my life, I know a lot of people, I've talked to people about it. Some people enjoyed it. You seem to have enjoyed it. I've known people who didn't like it at all. So I kind of, I don't know, I just kind of stayed away from it. And then when this sequel was announced, I started to get a little hyped about it just because Andy Serkis was directing. Fucking, you got Woody Harrelson coming on board. So it kind of piqued my interest. And so I was like, you know what? I got to watch the first one. So I sat down and watched it this week before Let There Be Carnage. And yeah, I don't know. It was fine. I have a lot of problems with it. Like, the villain was a joke, basically a joke. I thought Eddie Brock wasn't that good of a protagonist. Like, I don't know. His whole thing was like, oh, I lost my job. Oh, man. Oh, now my girlfriend too. Oh, geez. What am I going to do? I don't know. All right, whatever. But I guess overall, I think there's sprinkles of fun throughout that movie. I think especially when Venom shows up, but it takes a really long time for Venom and Eddie to join. But once that happens, I think the movie becomes really fun. But everything leading up to that was kind of a slog. But yeah, I thought it was fine. I thought at the end of the day it was kind of forgettable, but it was okay.
All right.
So that's where I was going into the sequel. It was like, it was fine.
So the sequel is pretty bare bones, man. It's Woody Harrelson, who was in the end of the first one, grants an interview to Eddie Brock, and kind of revives his career, and then breaks out and has this love story with this girl. Cletus Cassidy has this love story with this girl he's known since he was a kid in these, like, insane asylums or something. Shriek, who can do the oh, there's always one.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who can yell and do break shit. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing power.
Yeah.
like normal humans can do that. If you're a good enough singer, you've got to be a mutant.
Aretha Franklin be breaking glass all over the place.
Yeah. So, and right before he's about to get killed, he's like sentenced to death. Cletus Cassidy, Eddie Brock comes in there, and Cletus Cassidy talks some crap to him or something. But then Venom, not Eddie, like Venom comes out and just like grabs him, right, hits him around in the cells, like you bastard, and then Cletus bites Eddie Brock's hand and gets some of his blood. It's like, that was a pretty interesting line. I've tasted blood before. That ain't it. You have a secret, Eddie Brock. I was like, oh, that is a lot to infer from biting someone's hand.
Yeah.
You were so, and then they had a scene where he's like getting put to death. Oh yeah, after he bites him, he's got a little blood on his mouth, and he goes like this and wipes it, and then like the little blood on his hand is kind of doing a carnage type thing. It's got the tentacles.
Yeah. Actually, let's hold up on that scene though, because I wanted to pick your brain about something.
Okay,
what was the point of Cletus giving Eddie that like riddle in the paper? Because like Eddie goes and investigates with Venom, and then they find all these bodies, and then it cuts back to Cletus, and he's like, "No!" What? What was the point of you? Like, were you not expecting him to go investigate? Like, I don't know what the whole purpose of that was, because he seemed to be pretty upset about it.
He didn't. The riddle that they printed in the paper, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, because like that riddle leads to them finding the bodies, and then when they find the bodies, Cletus is upset about it. So it's like, well, what was?
No, that didn't lead to them finding the bodies. What found the bodies was Venom and his photographic memory. He looked at the wall, and then he goes back to the house and writes everything down, and then they find that drawing of the hills.
Oh, okay, you're right. That's right.
That picture. The reason for the poem was, he thought that his girlfriend might be alive. Everyone told him she was dead, right? Because she was shot in the escape attempt.
Mm-hmm.
And so he put that poem in there, and then remember, she sees it in the paper. She gets the paper every day, and she was just like ecstatic and knew he was alive, and she knew he was alive. He knew she was alive.
Gotcha.
So that was specifically for her, because he's like, print that exactly how I said it. And anyways, when she saw it, she got all excited. So that's pretty much what I got from that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that clears it up. I was just I was misremembering. I forgot about the the fucking crazy wall of graffiti. But yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And so Cletus is getting killed. He's strapped into the table. They got the lethal injection table. And then he turns to Carnage and flips out, man. He's really mad and mean. And I don't know why. He goes a little crazy, I think. Yeah, he just goes a little nuts. And that was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah, the prison scene, the prison break.
Yeah, and then the rest of the movie is just Venom and Carnage kind of trying to get the girlfriend back, trying to kill the character that shot the girlfriend, trying to kill Venom, trying to kill Eddie Brock. Those are the things they want to do, and that's it.
Yeah.
And really, that's it. There isn't much of a story other than that.
Which is kind of refreshing. I mean, you said at the top of the show that it's 97 minutes, and it's pretty brisk. And I appreciate that. We'll get into a review later on, but at the end of the day, I like a movie that doesn't waste my time. It doesn't have all these 5 different subplots, and it's overstuffed, and it's 2.5 hours long. Like, this is a quick in and out, and I really like that.
I'm watching The Irishman. Quit wasting my time.
we're on 3 hours and 20 minutes.
I gotta be to
work. It's like, God damn it. So no, I appreciated this quick in and out. But yeah, and then so that's kind of Cletus's story. And then meanwhile, you have the Venom and Eddie situation where Venom just wants to eat a bunch of people, and Eddie's like, no, you can't. And then they kind of have you kind of like watching The Honeymooners for for a little while, or like a sitcom. The roommates fighting, and they end up breaking up and getting back together.
He's allowed to eat chocolate and chickens.
Chickens, yeah.
But he spared the 2 chickens. I can't remember their names. One was Henrietta,
Cher, I think.
Oh yeah,
something along those lines. Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh, you can't kill them. Yeah, the Venom stuff was pretty funny and entertaining. Venom is, voiced by Tom Hardy as well. And that's a pretty cool. It's a pretty fun dynamic. But I do. You've watched the first one more recently. Maybe you've got more insight onto this. But the Mrs. Chen character in the gas station, wasn't she much older in the first one? It was like
No,
an
she's
old
she's about
Mrs.
the
Chen.
same. No, she's
It's
about
the
the
same
same.
person.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was an old Asian lady, and I thought that's where some of the comedy came from. I was remembering. Hello, Mrs. Chen, and she's like some little old lady.
No, it's the same actress.
Because I was like, why'd they make her like young now?
Yeah.
Because they call her old in this movie. And she's like, I'm 39.
Yeah, that's the same. That's the same actor.
Right on. Yeah, we get some funny stuff about them separating and Venom going out on his own. He goes to like some gay bar, and they're all
Like a
happy.
rave.
They're all happy for him. I got so I got a lot of uh, hints that it was a gay bar to me because they kept using like uh, terms like "I'm coming out of my Eddie Brock closet," and then these other people are like, "Good for you,"
Oh,
and
yeah.
I got those vibes. Maybe they weren't trying to portray that, but that's what I just got these little subtle hints I was picking up. Um, yeah, and people just love his costume. Oh yeah, the whole movie he just wants to be a hero and go out and save people. He wants to be the lethal protector, which is kind of what he's called in the comics. So that was kind of cool. No, say it, lethal protector. That was pretty cool. So man, CG in this was okay. I don't know. I didn't feel as impressed as I was in the first one. I don't know. There's a lot of the lighting is really weird and dark. When you see these characters, you don't see a lot of detail.
Yeah, I was
I
thinking
think
about that while watching it. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but I felt like because I kind of felt the same thing about the CGI, but for some reason, I don't know. There's something about the digital projection that like things. I don't know. Like I feel like if I were to watch this on my 4K TV, it would be sharper. Whereas like in the theater, things are kind of washed out, and at least in my opinion, like the digital projection. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, but I do agree that CGI was a little iffy. But I want to rewatch this on a 4K
yeah,
copy and see if it looks better.
definitely. And there was something wrong with the projector. I think where I watched it, there was like this one square to the left, middle of the screen, like the edge of the screen in the middle, that was just brighter than the rest.
Mm.
It was like a rectangle shape. I was like when it was a black scene, it would be like a light gray. You know what I mean?
Oh, that
It was just
sucks.
it was just lighter. I was like, what the fuck is up with that?
Yeah.
I don't know
Once you see it,
what
you
would.
can't unsee
Yeah, I
it.
don't know what would cause that, but and when I left uh, well, first the movie ended. I was with a bunch of assholes in this.
Oh,
First of
for
all,
real?
let me tell you. But I just heard that this just became the best opening for a pandemic movie. And I believe it because I've been telling you, I've been going to see these movies and it's just been me. It has been just me. This time there's at least 8 groups of families in there. So it was much more people than I'm used to in this particular theater. So it's like, okay, so I bet this movie's doing pretty well because I've never seen this. And yeah, it just became the highest opening.
Yeah, I was kind of the
Um,
same. I went to I went to a Regal up the street, and it was the bigger auditorium that they have, and it was a Thursday night at 8, and there was probably like 30 to 40 of us in there for a Thursday night. That's pretty good, especially during the pandemic. So I was pretty
yeah.
surprised.
So yeah, I got these 2 kids. I'm at the first aisle past the walkway. There's just a big divide between the top and the bottom.
Yeah,
I'm at the first seat on the top where like in front of you there's no seats, there's a bar.
right. Yeah,
So I'm like, I want that one. I got no seats in front of me. I got the kind of perfect view. So I got in there, sat down. I was the first one in, and then these freaking kids came next to me, yelling at each other, and they're coming really close. I'm like, dude, what are you gonna sit next to me? What are you doing? Comes over. He gets one seat away from me, and they start sitting down. Then the friend on the other side, no, you sit over here. Come on. And he's like, scoot down, man. And then he starts putting the seat down right next to me. I'm like, oh, what the fuck, dude? Really?
Open theater and you got to do this?
You are not going to fucking sit next to me. And then anyways, he kind of looked at me and then scooted away one seat. I was like, God dang, you're right. Fuck you. Right next to me, dude. There's a whole theater. And then there's these little girls and boys on dates or something, like 13, 14-year-olds, and they're just fucking talking up a storm. They're just loud. I was like, oh my God, if they start doing this shit in the movie, I'll be that old man. I was like, you shut up, you kids.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
It's fucking annoying.
And then, like, when I left, there's this everybody had like their feet up on the seats. Like those kids next to me had their feet up on the seat in front of them. This guy on my right had his feet up on the seat. Like when I went to go to the bathroom, like I was drinking before the movie. And I was like, fuck, so now I gotta pee. Like, God dang it. So I pick a good part of the movie to go pee. And this guy had to take his feet down and he like stood up and got out of the seat and into the aisle to let me by. I'm like, dude, you just gotta scoot in a little bit, bro.
What the fuck?
It's like, well, okay. Now I know why, because later that guy was drunk. That guy, I went over and he had fucking a beer bottle underneath his fucking seat that he left. I was like, this motherfucker snuck in a straight up bottle of Coors Light.
It was like a 6-pack.
my theater don't serve alcohol. It was weird. So that was my experience, but I don't know. I kind of liked being alone. I kind of stopped having these people, and that's like nothing. So it wasn't a packed theater or anything, and I'm complaining about it, but I just got used to being alone. It was like my own personal viewing room. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's always sucked because you never know. I mean, you're basically playing Russian roulette every time we go to the theater, whether or not you're gonna have an asshole next to you. And it was already bad then, but I think now it could potentially be worse because I think people are so used to watching shit at home now that maybe some of that talking at home brings itself into the theaters now. But so far I haven't had any problems this year, but I imagine there will be.
Yeah, so I mean, I liked it. I liked the movie. It's okay. It's not amazing by any means. I'm having trouble deciding if I liked it more than the first one. Because like you said, the first one is pretty slow and doesn't really get going until Venom. But once it does, it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't know. Damn it. I just really don't know. What did you think? You got an opinion on which one's better?
By golly, I actually like this one. This one I thought was pretty fun. I don't think it's like a great superhero masterpiece, but I am not going to lie and say that I had fun from beginning to end. I do think it's better than the first. I think it has a better villain, although, I want to get into some of the things I don't like, but even if I didn't particularly like Cletus that much, he was definitely a better villain than whatever the fuck was happening in the first movie. I liked it.
Indian CEO guy,
Elon Musk, yeah,
whatever he was. We must take the symbiotes. They kept saying symbiotes. The symbiotes.
Yeah, I like that. From the beginning of this movie, Eddie and Venom are already aligned. We have more banter. I do like the stuff of them. I do like their conflict. I thought it worked well for me. Although I thought the fight they have in their apartment was pretty dumb. But yeah, overall, I think this was a much stronger. And I think the action scenes were more entertaining in this. And the first one, I only remember 2. It's like a motorcycle chase, which I thought was pretty bland. And then they have a big fight at the shuttle launch area, which I actually thought was pretty fun. But I think the action in this movie was better too.
Yeah. And
this one's funnier. This one had me laughing a lot more than the first one did.
I guess I do slightly like it better. You're right. Cletus was a bit one-dimensional and not as good of a character as I thought he would be, as being played by Woody Harrelson. I was like, oh shit, we're gonna get something good, some True Detective type shit, some Natural Born Killers type shit. But
yeah, no. I want to bring that up. I'll let you finish, but I want to bring up that movie particularly.
Yeah, it just felt really I don't know. I just don't. I think Woody Harrelson was not that great. It was okay. A lot of the lines are really weird. I just wanted to be your friend,
Yeah.
Eddie. And just weird lines, man. And I guess he's supposed to be like a weird person, but I didn't really buy that he's like this serial killer.
Yeah.
He didn't seem very menacing at all, and like he would murder people to me. And
Yes.
until like the end, and then he's fighting for his girlfriend, and when Carnage is trying to hurt her, he's like, they made him, you know, they made you like root for him. It's like, oh, poor Cletus, he's a good guy. It's like at no point was I like, man, this guy's a menacing murderer, like Carnage is supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, the reason why I was just cheering a second ago about you saying that is because, I saw this on Thursday, so I've been kind of marinating a lot about it. I've stayed away from reviews and all that, and I was trying to think of like what didn't work for me, and I felt like the two biggest things for me were almost like wasted opportunities. And the first one you basically nailed it on the head, which is that you got this guy who's a fucking psychopath. Like even when they go into his backstory, it's like this fun little animation thing where they seemingly kills his grandma and his mom and shit. I was like, fuck, dude. And I'm thinking like, with this character, you need to have at least one or two scenes where he's menacing, where he's fucking scary, and it's a tense moment. Something like the Joker. Like every time the Joker shows up on screen, you're tense, right? Because he's a fucking psychopath. And there was never that scene. Like there's one scene where he walks into a gas station or a Quickie Mart and he beats some guy up. I mean, that's as close as you get, but whatever. That wasn't really that special.
For that 1 second, I was like, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There he's showing like he has no regard for human life. He just starts beating the shit out of this person. But that was like, that was about it.
Yeah, I remember. Did you ever see Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn movie? No. Well, the reason why I bring that up is because Ewan McGregor plays the villain in that movie, and he's a very flamboyant and theatrical villain. He's kind of a fun, and Ewan McGregor's chewing it up. It's a great performance. But at one point in the movie, and he's supposed to be this fucking crazy guy, right? And you don't really see it until like midway through the movie. He's at a club, he owns the club, and something's happening at a certain table that he doesn't like, and he like walks over there and sits down and starts like being an asshole, and like the music drops out, and it's just like this really tense moment where he's just a fucking psychopath, and he's like making these women dance, and they're crying, and he's like, "Come on, dance!" And I don't know. And the reason why I bring that up is because you need a scene like that for Cletus. Like you need a scene that's disturbing, or to make us feel like this guy really is a psychotic serial killer, and we just didn't get it. I thought that was kind of a wasted opportunity.
Exactly.
Real quick, the other second wasted opportunity is that I thought was the reunion of Eddie and Venom, because they split apart for a while, and then they kind of just come back, and it's not really. I don't know. I feel like you could have built that moment up a little more. Like I remember. This is kind of relevant because it's the same universe, but I remember Spider-Man 2. Like when Spider-Man 2, Peter's like, fuck Spider-Man, I don't want to be Spider-Man, throws his shit away. And then you actually see the weight of that decision. Like you see people getting beat up, crimes going up, and he's just like, I don't give a fuck. And then things get so bad that by the time he gets the costume back on, we are like excited, like, yeah, he's fucking back. There's like this triumphant moment when Spider-Man comes back. Even the city's like, yeah, Spider-Man's back. And I felt like they could have had that moment. But in this movie, it's like, oh, I'm in prison, I need Venom back. And it's just like, ugh. And I felt like the scene where, what's her name? When Anne and her husband or fiance go to the mart and confront the ladies / Venom, I feel like that should have been Eddie. I feel like Eddie should have went to that store, and they have the back and forth between one another, and I don't know. I just feel like that would have been a cool moment. Like by the time they get back, we're like, yes, they're fucking back.
What was the husband's name or the fiance? Dan?
Dan, yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah,
I love that when he finally gets Venom back and he goes up and just slaps the shit out of Dan because it's Venom like controlling him.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, oh, that's so good. All that I don't remember something about we should eat Dan's face.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's like they're saying goodbye to her, and then Venom comes out. And goodbye to you, Dan. I like you, Dan.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I've always liked you, Dan.
Oh, I like that they. I don't. Do you remember if the first one was rated R? I feel like it was, but I don't. I
No, it
can't.
was
It wasn't.
13.
It was 13. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in this
This
movie,
was a
Oh,
they pushed
sorry.
it a little bit.
Yeah.
They push it.
I was gonna say, we all know that PG-13, you're allowed basically one F bomb, and you can use it at your disposal. And I thought their use of the F bomb was pretty good.
Which was it? I'm trying to remember. I remember them saying it was something good, but what the hell
It was
happened?
at the very end when Cletus is like, "I just want to be your friend," and Venom is like, "Fuck this
Oh yeah,
guy," and like,
fuck this guy, and bites his head off.
But
So
that
it's
was
like
pretty good.
we got no carryover villains ever in these Venom movies. It's like he just bites their fucking head off,
Hmm.
and then he ate Carnage. You felt bad for the Carnage suit. Like he pulls it out and it's just this little red blob, and he starts eating it. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like whining. It's like, oh, that tasted horrible. Yeah. So he eats him, like he does everything, and he eats chocolate. I guess that's from the comics. I don't remember that, but I guess chocolate has some certain thing that human brains has that he needs. Chocolate's like the only other place to get it, so he's not allowed to eat very many humans, so he has to eat a bunch of chocolate. Um, yeah. So I think we both liked it slightly better than the first one. Uh, yeah. The only problems with it, kind of with Cletus, was not that believable to me as a someone you're supposed to be scared of, because they only showed his weird side. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, cherry red Mustang, gotta have it. Jump. I was like, they sold him as a weirdo rather than a murderer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And his girlfriend, I didn't like her. That whole storyline was kind of dumb.
Yeah, that was pretty forgettable. Even the cop stuff is like, why is the cop in this plot at all? Okay.
And the cop just keeps fucking grilling Eddie Brock for info, and it's like, but he keeps setting up meetings between the murderer and Eddie Brock. He wants to see you. It sets it up. Why'd you talk to him? What were you talking about? Like, you put me in there, bro. You called me. That was kind of weird.
Or like when he goes to the apartment and he just like barges in and then he just starts like walking circles around and like grilling him. I'm like, get out of my fucking house.
And then he leaves. I'll let myself out. I was like, what?
Oh, and then the egregious Sony product placement where like there's a whole thing where Venom throws the TV out the window, and then the next time you see a new flat screen, but next to the TV is a big Sony box, and then the cop walks in, nice TV. I was like, God damn it. Fucking Sony.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny. He's like fucking around and he's like, don't do that. It's a $2,000 TV. And it's like the only thing of value in his house.
I like when he's wrecking the motorcycle and he's like, no! And Venom like, yes! He's just, no! Yes! He's just smashing his bike. That was pretty good.
It's like a fucking Ducati.
Yeah.
It's like one of the few things he bought from the new notoriety from this whatever story he wrote about Cletus, and all of a sudden, from finding the bodies, made him famous again. And that was pretty funny. I kept thinking the cop was the Wahlberg brother.
That's what I thought too, but no.
Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah.
But no, it's the guy from The Irishman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the guy. And I guess they even make a reference to it because he's like, they call it something about the little man. That's what he's kind of called in The Irishman.
Irishman.
Yeah. So it should have been Donnie Wahlberg. But
should we get into that credits, or should we want to rate it and then do a spoiler for that's a pretty big, we haven't talked about that yet.
I guess, yeah, because that's not part of the movie. That's not going to our rating. Let's just rate it. I'm going to give it I give it a 7.3. Maybe the first one is like a 7. They're both pretty good. They're entertaining. They're just not knocking out the park superhero movies, but it's worth a watch. 7.3.
Yeah. It's kind of landed on a 6.7. There's some things I like about it, but overall, just kind of, it was a fun time. Definitely better than the first. I don't know what I would rate the first. Probably like I don't know, 5.5. I thought it was a pretty forgettable movie. Yeah, I think 6.7 is mine.
6.7, 7.3. See, to me, the first one was like just a basic 7, so that's why I bumped it up to 0.3.
Yeah.
So it's a little better, baby. Yeah, credit scene. So they go on a vacation. They're in a hotel room, right? And they're watching a novella on TV, it's like a Spanish soap opera. And then the room kind of shifts, just like one of those crazy split take shifts. And I immediately knew what was going on.
Yeah. The moment the room changed, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Because I just saw the trailer for fucking No Way Home, so I know about the shift. And then it happens in this. I was like, "Oh fuck, oh really?" And then they're in like a Caribbean room, almost like it looks like Mexico or something, like a resort town. And it's a different hotel room. And on the TV is fucking J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson. He's a menace. Spider-Man was fucking Peter Parker all along. And he's a murderer. And then I was like, oh shit, dude, really? Awesome. I was like hoping they'd get Venom in this new one. And then Venom goes over Eddie and they walk up to the TV, and I didn't get that part when he's like, him. And it shows Tom Holland and he just licks him. It's like, what's your obsession with him? Like, you just seen him on TV once and he's like, oh, him, we must have him. But it's awesome. And it better not deliver. He better be in fucking No Way Home. You know what I mean?
That's what I got out of that, is that, he's definitely going to be in No Way Home. I don't know how big of a role he's going to play in that movie, but he's definitely going to be in it. That's what I got out of that anyways. Not expecting that at all. I was, man, just when you think Marvel doesn't have anything up its sleeve, they're so good at this, where it's just like, oh shit. This was one of those moments where it's like, fuck, did not see that coming.
Yeah, it was so cool. I don't know. I guess it could be a cool storyline where they hear the news, everyone thinks he's a murderer. He murdered Mysterio. So maybe they want to, fight him, capture him. So then that gives the conflict between Spider-Man and Venom. And then eventually they realize that, it was all fake. And so they have to team up to help fight the bad guys.
They'll definitely be
I don't know. I don't know how much of that they're going to do, because it's like you already have 2 other Spider-Men in the movie. It's like, how many good guys can you have before it starts getting too much?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to balance it. And Venom is Eddie Brock. Venom is your guy going forward. So maybe you want to use him more than Topher and Andrew Garfield, because they're not coming back. Their days are done. But Tom Holland and what the hell's the actor's name? Damn.
Tom Hardy?
Yeah, Tom Hardy and Tom Holland, still have a future in the MCU, so probably be best to use them mostly. We'll see. Finally, we get that goddamn spider on his chest. Maybe that'd be pretty fucking sweet. A big old white spider.
He does have a black suit in the trailer, or No Way Home, at least. I don't know if that's related or not, but I do remember there's a quick shot. He's like running through a building, and I'm pretty sure he has a black suit on. But yeah, I imagine if Venom does show up, I mean, this is a big if. I'm just assuming that he's going to show up based on the mid-credits. But if he does, I would imagine it may be like a third act thing where like Spider-Man's on the ropes and then all of a sudden fucking Eddie and Venom show up and some shenanigans happen. That would be my guess. I don't think he'll play a major role in the movie, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But it would definitely be a team up, if anything, because, Eddie's being, Venom is a villain of the Spider-Man universe, but they're making him kind of a hero. So I imagine that they would continue that into a Spider-Man. Yeah.
And then hopefully we got to have it get on Spider-Man somehow so he can get some of those powers. Because, he absorbs a little bit of everybody. So that would make Venom stronger. That would make Venom have the webbing. Because, he could always they're pretty much tentacles, but he does it like Spider-Man, and then he can, because Venom in our universe, he just kind of jumps from building to building and kind of grabs things, but I want to see the motherfucker swing, dog.
Yeah.
Like he should be. But yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed it. I I've seen some reviews. Some are pretty divisive. Um, some are saying like sometimes the sequel is way better than the first. I didn't think it was amazingly better than the first. I enjoyed the first. Um, and then I've heard some people just dogging it too. I didn't think it was bad. Quick runtime, fun little movie, has a really funny moments. I think the worst part of the movie was how they wrote Cletus's character.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's like what a wasted opportunity when you have Woody Harrelson you could really make this character fucking scary. Quit trying to be Eddie Brock is the comedy part. Have him be the not funny at all, just menacing and scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to dig into some reviews today to see kind of what people are saying about it. But I'm wondering if some of this has to do with like, because I don't know, they're very different films. Like Venom, for the most part, plays it pretty serious, right? Like I think it wanted to be serious. It wanted to take the character serious, and like there are some comedy bits in Venom a little bit, but this movie goes all in on like the wackiness of the story, right? Like Venom goes to a fucking rave and makes a speech where a woman like, "I love you." Like you're either going to be on board with that or you're going to miss that seriousness of the first movie.
Yeah.
So I can see how people would be like, "Oh, what the fuck? Now we're in wacky territory. We're not in the serious mode anymore." So I don't know if that turns people off or not. Sorry, my dog is chasing my cat.
Very serious with the symbiotes. These are the symbiotes. That's a red one.
Yeah, I'm glad that scene was longer in the movie because it's a funny moment in the trailer and it made me laugh because it is funny. But I'm glad that wasn't just it. Like it's that scene in the trailer is very truncated, but in the actual movie, it's that whole debate with them is longer and it's pretty funny.
I'll let you eat everybody.
Everyone?
Yeah, so go check it out. Pretty good. What'd you give it, a 5.8?
6.7.
Oh, sorry, that was the first one you were talking about. 6.7, 7.3. Go check it out. We enjoyed it. Think you will too. I mean, if you're a Marvel fan, Spider-Man fan, I think the post-credit scene was worth the price of admission to me alone. I was just like, whoa, man. Now I'm ready for No Way Home. So bad. It's like, who else are they going to put in that movie next? It's going to be like, it's going to be like Christian Bale's Batman is going to be in it. Something. It's going to have the Justice League and the Super Friends.
Right.
Fucking Speed Racers in it. Scooby-Doo crew.
Turtles.
Yeah. Ghostbusters. It's got the Transformers. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. Please watch your stuff on YouTube. You could also listen to it on Spotify and Apple Music if you're more into the actual podcast type where you just listen to it. We enjoy having you. We appreciate it. It's always fun, and it's going to be a very busy October.
Yeah.
So we'll be bringing you all these new movies. So stay tuned. I don't know. Something was coming out very soon. What's the next one? I know
next week is Bond. I don't know if you're a Bond guy.
Bond.
But...
I'm not a Bond guy, but I don't know. I guess I'll check it out maybe if that's what we end up doing.
Have you seen the other ones? Because it's the climax of the whole. All of them have a storyline. Oh boy,
Casino Royale or none.
You got some homework. Oh, dude, you haven't seen Casino Royale? Oh man, you got to get on that. Casino Royale is fucking dope.
That was the first one he did, right?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a whole Bond movie. Period.
Goldeneye? Nothing?
No.
Damn.
Nope. Might have to get on it. Yeah. Is there anything else in October? Dune, I think.
Dune's later in the month, yeah. Dune, Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
There's a couple other ones sprinkled in there.
Oh, did you see that trailer for that Emmerich movie?
Emmerich? No, I don't know what that is.
During this, it was a Moonfall.
Oh, yeah. I saw that trailer. Yeah.
It looked very Independence Day-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And it's by the guy who did Independence Day. I was like, well, this looks interesting. Another sci-fi epic from this guy. I wanted to see that from the trailer. It looked kind of cool. Had some big names in it, too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw a poster, a Steven Spielberg movie that he's actually directing again, and it was West Side Story.
West Side Story, yeah.
I was like, dude, you're gonna come back and do West Side Story?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. The fucking jets and shit.
I've never seen West Side Story. I mean, it's just a Romeo and Juliet, right? From what I understand, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, shitty one. About the fucking the sharks and the jets, like fight dancing in the streets.
The
Pretty
fuck?
whack.
I watched the trailer. It looks fucking gorgeous. It looks like Spielberg is, still's got a visual flair, but yeah, I don't know if that content.
I didn't see the trailer. Yeah, I just saw the poster. But I was like, oh, cool, he's doing a movie. I was like, oh man, it's West Side Story.
Fucking remake.
Whack.
Oh,
Remake.
sorry. So we got No Time to Die or Bond next week.
Yeah.
Halloween Kills the week after, and then Dune the week after, and then. Did you see that Last Night in Soho trailer? That looks pretty fun. That's also in
No,
October.
I didn't.
And then right after that is Eternals. I don't know if I'm going to see that or not, though. But yeah, it's kind of the month of October right there.
The Eternals looked interesting. I kind of want to see it because it's looks to be. It's not one of those. It's one of the few Marvel movies now that it looks like it doesn't matter with the other stuff. It's not trying to lean in on all this MCU stuff. You know what I mean? They talk about Thanos' snap, but that's about it that I got from the trailer. So that might be cool. Angelina Jolie looks good in it. In more ways than one. Ow!
Yeah, we're gonna have to. That movie comes out. Eternals comes out on. Actually, I haven't told you this, so you're getting it just like everybody else, if anyone's still listening. But that weekend, I'm actually gonna be out of town in Los Angeles. So we're gonna have to figure something out that weekend. We could do something in midweek or something. But so I will not be seeing movies that weekend.
Why not? Los Angeles has the Chinese theater, bro.
Maybe I'll talk to Sarah, see if we can squeeze something in.
The big premiere. Hollywood Boulevard, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay tuned and we'll watch the movies and tell you what we think and have some fun doing it.
Yeah.
Later, y'all.
Peace.